Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this big event that we're all excited about. I'm Captain Chris Helmick. Up until about a week ago, I was the division commander of the Criminal Investigations Division, so definitely excited to see this group get promoted, but we know it's a big event for them as well. So to get started, I would like everyone to rise while the Honor Guard presents the colors. And that'll be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, so please stay standing.
Color Guard, post. Forward, march. Ready? Hold. Left face. Ready? Post. Colors. Post. Ready? Face. Freeze, Zane. Huh.
Please join us with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Huh. Right face. Forward march.
Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, I'd like to introduce Chief David Zabulski, who will come up and talk about the ceremony and the detectives who will be receiving their promotions today. Chief?
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another big milestone for our police department today as we established the promotion of permanent detectives and also promote another new sergeant to our ranks. I'd like to recognize and thank all of our elected officials, dignitaries, our excellent honor guard, department staff, and our newly promoted members, as well as their families. If the new promotees could just stand up real quick, and we'll give you a little quick round of applause. Thank you. Before we continue with my remarks, I'd like to introduce you to our mayor, Dr. Timothy Mahoney, who also wants to express his appreciation for the work that you do.
Good morning. Chief caught me off guard here because usually he talks for like 15 minutes, so then I get on here, but I'm ready to go. I always like the opportunity to be involved in these promotional ceremonies. Promotions are an exciting time in the careers of team members. All the challenges you have tackled, the successes you have accumulated, and the lessons you have learned in your career have led you here. Promotions are a time not only to look back on what you have done well to earn this opportunity, but also to consider how you can continue to improve. I know all of you became your careers in law enforcement because you are service-minded. You want to assist the residents and visitors of the cities, and this you do very well. You have done exactly that. You have investigated and solved crimes, provided closure for victims, and used your skills to truly help people. It's often in a difficult time of their life in which they come to you, trying to get closure, and you truly help concerns that they have. For those of you who are being promoted to the permanent detective position, you find yourself in a unique and crucial situation. This is something the Chief and I have talked about. A permanent detective is a new position for the Fargo Police Department. You have earned this opportunity to mold for this position. How you respond to this opportunity will help shape this department, not only while you're here, but beyond. What you do in this department at this time will tell future people to come in this position, this is a new way of doing things, and this is how we're going to do it in our community. Detective work is oftentimes difficult, working with families, doing a variety of different issues for our department. But in our community and our size, we need people who are putting their full work and effort to try to get through some things that have happened to people and come to solutions. I and this commission and this whole community have the utmost confidence that you'll do a great job. I truly believe that we have one of the greatest police forces in this entire nation. As the Chief and I look around the community and see what's happened in our community, we continue to improve in so many ways. And I've been around since 2005, and I've seen nothing but growth and development and improvement of our department. It always has a little pride inside of me when I see you guys out in the cars or out meeting with the public to know that you'll do the right thing. And you'll do the thing that will make our people happy. You'll serve and protect. The professionalism, patience, and passion of our officers truly is displayed every day and is truly admirable. With that, I want to close with a heartfelt congratulations to all of you, and good luck with the new career. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to talk a little bit about why this is so important. So the permanent detective position has not existed in our department for many, many years. It was a big request of department personnel. We had a group that reviewed, recommended changes, recommended the number of personnel. Our executive staff created a new promotional process to evaluate our current personnel and place these individuals into permanent positions. It started way back early last year with budget preparation. So of course, along with the promotion, these folks will get a nice raise in their pay, which is their most deserved on their part for the work that they do. But it's working with the mayor and the commission on putting these plans in place, getting their budgetary approval, and then moving forward with the actual processes, which brings us to where we are today. So why is this a big deal? Why is this a benefit? The permanent detectives benefit us in a number of ways. For our department, operations and personnel, it provides an ability for all of these folks to fully develop their skill sets, to become subject matter experts in areas of investigation and criminal law that, if we did not have, would be a disservice to our community and the victims of crime in our city. We have a number of different units in our investigations division. Crimes Against Children unit. These folks, and you'll meet all of these people here shortly, have to deal with some of the most egregious acts to the most vulnerable in our community, our children, from abuse to assault to all kinds of things that are otherwise unmentionable. They have to deal with those cases on a regular basis. They work with many other state and federal entities to put these cases together and bring these criminals to justice. Very stressful, very important job, and the work that they do is often unseen. They're on the internet, they're behind the scenes, but the volume of cases would surprise even the most astute in our community. We probably could not put enough detectives in that unit to address all the crimes against children that are out there. So I think it's important for everyone to recognize that and recognize the great work that this team does as we bring them up and get ready to pin badges on them. Our adult violent crimes unit deals with violent crimes, homicide, robberies, sexual assault. These are also very egregious offenses. We've had a lot of discussion nationally and locally about the prevalence of violent crime and its effect on our community and its effect on our feeling of safety in our community. Everyone wants to feel safe. Identifying those few perpetrators in our community who are involved in violent crimes, because they will continue to perpetuate those, is extremely important. So the folks on that team are working very diligently every day to identify who those folks are, make arrests, and make successful prosecutions. Our property crimes unit has to deal with things like burglaries, entries into your residence where there's property taken, etc., large frauds and thefts, which in large part people don't see as a violent crime. But property crimes are also important. If your house is violated by an unknown actor, how safe do you feel in your house? This affects community safety. If your car is stolen, how do you get to work? If you're the victim of a large amount of fraud, how do you recuperate from that financial loss? We have a lot of those crimes in our community, and it's a big focus of our department. Our property crimes detectives are involved in a multitude of investigations across that entire platform, including the most recent string of commercial burglaries, which by the really excellent work of this department, both in our neighborhood services and investigations division, we have made significant progress and have some folks in custody. So that's excellent work across the board, but again, a lot of work on the investigative side. Our street crimes unit, which I kind of call the sneaky guys, the hunters, the trackers, they're responsible to know who these folks are who are committing these crimes, to track them down, place them in custody. They work a lot with other state and federal entities as well, the Marshals Service, ATF, North Dakota Bureau of Criminal Investigation, and all of their resources, as well as ponying up with our intelligence and analysis unit in putting together plans, surveillance, arrests. They've been hugely successful here and are making a number of excellent arrests most recently. And our narcotics unit, which is also extremely busy with the prevalence of opioids, fentanyl. You can see these stories on the news every day, and how the overdose deaths have increased exponentially over the last 2 years. In fact, opioid overdose is the leading cause of death between those 18 to 45. That just came out from the CDC within the last week. So under the umbrella of COVID, we have a whole bunch of people who are dying as a result of opioid overdose. Our narcotics unit is not only involved in interdicting drug trafficking organizations, but in investigating these overdose cases to try and bring those responsible to justice as well. Most recently, we have made some progress in terms of the expansion of the narcotics capacity. We will be partnering with the Cass County Drug Task Force. So instead of 2 units working in similar but different directions, we will for the first time be partnering with our regional partners, West Fargo, and Cass County, and the North Dakota Bureau of Criminal Investigation, in expanding and having one large task force to address these insidious problems in our society. So really a lot of important things are done within each unit of our investigations division. The other benefit is an increase in their job motivation, satisfaction, and performance. There's probably nothing more demoralizing than working in one of these units and working in our investigations, going to additional training, learning all the different techniques and idiosyncrasies of your particular area of investigation, only to be rotated out because of a mandatory rotation cycle. And now we start anew with someone who doesn't have those skills and knowledge. That's not great for them. That's not great for our community. It provides certainty. These folks have been in an uncertain status for a long time. One of a leader's most important responsibilities is to provide certainty to the organization. So as we move forward with our progression in the department, we're providing some certainty in our investigation by promoting our permanent detectives and letting them get on with their work without the worry of being rotated out. These folks also serve as mentors to our rotational investigators, which are officers who do rotations to work in, gain that knowledge, could become future detectives and or go back to patrol with the knowledge gained from investigations. So there's a lot of benefits to this permanent status in our department. There's also community benefits. One of our main goals is to reduce repeat victimization. We all know that those who are committing these types of crimes will often continue to commit them until they're caught. And for everyone that's caught, they probably got away with a whole bunch of other ones that we may not be aware of. Our ability to connect those crimes through the investigators' work, along with intelligence and analysis, and then having a sense of urgency about what we do. These folks get called in 24/7. You know, we don't work bank hours. We don't let things go through Monday to Monday. If there's a violent crime or significant incident that happened, they have also committed to being called in to help investigate those, because the quicker we start that investigation, the more likely we are to bring it to successful conclusion. So our overall public safety is enhanced by having these folks in these positions. We're also targeting persons and locations and getting those people off the streets to make our neighborhoods safer. What does it take to be a good detective? Everything that these folks have exhibited through their careers, through the new process, which is really a sense of tenacity, persistence, and thoroughness. They have to have a comprehensive understanding of the law, best practices, policy, the ability not just to make an arrest and clear a case, to present it, but to present it successfully to prosecutors for conviction. If we don't have all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, all the work that the cops did on the front end, all the work that the investigators did in the middle is for naught. If the case is not solid, if it's not done properly, the rules of evidence, criminal law have been followed, and we put our prosecutors in our position to win these cases and bring these folks to justice. That's why all of these folks rose to the top in this process. They have demonstrated that in their career. Many of them also are part of other areas of our department, honor guard. They were trainers. They participate in a number of other ways. But this group of 19 certainly made themselves known, rose to the top, and have demonstrated that they have these skills and are committed to our department vision, mission, and values. Extremely proud of all of them as we take that next step in their career. And we'll introduce you to them by unit here very shortly. Next, I'd like to talk about our sergeant promotion. Matthew Siders, very new, not a new member to the department, a 13-year veteran, but again, an important piece of our successful organization puzzle. Supervisors are responsible for small team leadership. They're here 24/7, 2/3 of the day without any other support other than maybe their shift commander. But they are responsible to set the pace on our patrol level within our neighborhood services division. They are the ones that are out there with the officers, helping them work through difficult situations, helping them resolve conflict, investigating and making sure that they're doing things properly. And they also they are the thermostat instead of the thermometer. So they are setting the morale and the feel of the department rather than just measuring it. There's a very important and critical role in what they do, and we're putting another high-quality person in that position today. Promotion is not a ticket to less work and responsibility. It's exactly the opposite. These roles bring with them greater expectations and accountability. What all of you do as leaders matters all the time, and all of you are leaders in your various roles and at various times and circumstances. I'm extremely proud of all of our new permanent detectives, our new sergeant, as well as the rest of our department for the great work that they do. And I look forward to all of your future success, which not only is good for you, but that equates to department success and community success. When we are all working together, performing our roles to the max capacity that we can reasonably do, we are as safe as we can be, our team is as strong and cohesive as it can be, and that continues to exponentially grow from there. So let's move on to our badge pinning. So what I'm going to do is bring up our detectives by unit as I've talked about their areas of responsibility so you can see who these folks are. And then we'll have their significant others pin their badge on them. Particular unit you need first or no? Particular unit you need first? Okay. All right, we're going to start with our adult violent crimes detectives. If you could step up. Mark Volkschild and his wife Miranda. Josh Luce and his wife Tara. Troy Hansen and his mother Rose. Tom Bernier and his brother, also lieutenant on our department, Mike Bernier. And Grant Kendall, his wife Andy. There is no worries about any incidental injury. Let's you get a badge here, and then I'll step out of the way so we should know. Okay. Get out of the way here. Let you work through that. Okay, so I'm going to ask the significant others, you can return to your seat and ask these folks to just step off to the side. We'll get our next group up and we'll have a group oath at the end. So kind of stand easy over there if you will. Okay, next we're going to introduce to you the folks in our Crimes Against Children unit. Jamie Gaynor and his son Hunter. Oh, I'm sorry. They are ill, so we'll do it. We'll remember them posthumously, not posthumously. That's not good. Let's see. They're in our thoughts. Okay. Chris Matheson and his girlfriend Brittany. Connie Nickturn and we have Kylie. Okay, daughter Kylie. Sarah Cruz and her husband Jerry. And Nick Jonas and his daughters Kate and Lauren. They're ill also? Okay. All right, so Nick is also ill. All right, so we're down to just a couple here. Okay, then if the significant others want to have a seat, same thing, we'll just rotate the new detectives down until we get our last group up. Last couple of groups, rather. We'll go with our property unit detectives. Brent Malone and his father, Richard. Jordan Michaels. And Cody Geese. Cody's maybe ill as well. Okay, so a couple folks here. Okay, thank you. Richard, you can have a seat. Thanks, and I can see where Brent gets his sense of persistence from. Good work on that. If you guys want to just slide over, please. We got our street crimes unit folks, Ryan Jasper, a 6-year veteran, and Josh Heller, a 6-year veteran. And Ryan has his wife Allison, and Josh has his wife Jamie. Okay, ladies, you're all set, and then I'll have these two guys just stand steady for a second. You can slide over, yes, thank you. I got one more person to do here. Our new sergeant, Matthew Siders, 13-year veteran of the department, and his wife, Jessica. Let me get this open. Okay, for those of you with astute observation powers, you noticed that Matt Siders was a quick change artist because he was also in the Honor Guard earlier. So, as I said, a lot of these folks are involved in many other things in our department in addition to the great work that they're doing. So, maybe we could kind of just bring you a little closer this way. We're going to do the oath of honor. And then we can get you kind of in the picture if you can kind of line up facing me in this direction, a couple rows maybe, something like that. Audible as best as you can. Okay. If you would raise your right hand and repeat after me, please. This is the law enforcement oath of honor. On my honor, I will never betray my integrity, my character, or the public trust. I will treat all individuals with dignity and respect and ensure that my actions are dedicated to ensuring the safety of my community and the preservation of human life. I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions. I will always maintain the highest ethical standards and uphold the values of my community and the agency I serve. Congratulations, new detectives and new sergeant. Thank you. Now, if you could do a real cool honor guard this way in front of the flag, you might get a really cool picture if you move down that way. A little bit this direction. Yeah. Okay. Before we do our traditional department congratulations, I want to thank all of our staff for their great work, our law enforcement families for their support, and our great Fargo community for your partnership, rather. So together as a team, we're making excellent strides. Again, extremely proud of the work that all of these individuals have done, and look forward to their future success. So it's kind of an exciting time. So let's give them one last round of applause and their accomplishment. And we'll do our traditional department congratulatory walkthrough